Hello, thank you for joining me again on Odd Path Studios. Today is November 12th, and today we're going to talk about a topic that has become more critical as AI and technology advances, and it's AI privacy. Um, Something that I'm kind of passionate about because I love AI, but at the same time, it makes me a little nervous. Um, I really enjoy playing with AI and making videos and music videos. Actually, I love the AI music videos that are floating around out there. I think they're super fun. The satire music videos of movie characters and celebrities. I think they're absolutely hilarious. But every day we use apps and browse the internet and even interact with smart devices. And you know, but do we ever think what happens to all the data that we leave behind? And who's tracking it? And more importantly, is it safe? So in this video on my channel on Path Studios, which I'm super excited to get out here. So just today I wanted to explore the relationship between AI and privacy and how our data is being used and what we can do to protect it. So before we dive in, let's talk about data collection and why it's essential to AI. So um, artificial intelligence relies on huge amounts of data to learn, just massive amounts of data. You know, um, so it works on um, all this data to improve and to make accurate predictions. So, if you take that into account, this data comes from everyday actions like what we search online and the apps that we use and even our location. And to me, that's a little bit scary if you think about it. But anyway, that means that we leave behind a trail, and every interaction leaves that trail behind. So when you use a social media app or shop online, you're leaving that trail behind. So companies collect that data about what you like and your browsing habits, and even how long you look at certain items. And this information feeds AI algorithms that create your personalized experiences. So while this can be convenient, it also raises big questions. How much privacy are we giving up for convenience? So when you go onto a website and you tick that little cookie box, you're not signing up for cookies. You're allowing them to track you. And um, while it's convenient, if you saw my last video about how I like that sometimes when I'm checking out at Walmart, they remind me, hey, did you get all your stuff? Like, oh, my green onions. Yeah, I forgot those. You know, while it's nice, at the same time, how much of my life are they really keeping track of? So let's take a look at how AI uses our data. So in most cases, AI processes data to make predictions and recommendations. So for instance, like Netflix uses our data on your viewing history to suggest shows you might enjoy. So then social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram use AI to show you posts and ads based on your interactions. So these recommendations come from AI analyzing tons and tons of data. And the more data AI has, the better it can tailor the experience. But this can lead to what's called data profile. So a detailed virtual version of you based on your likes, dislikes, habits, and preferences. And while these profiles are great for targeted content, it also means companies know a lot about you. So let's talk about the risk. So when so much data is collected, privacy concerns naturally follow. I know I have them, but one of the biggest risks is a data breach. So even major companies aren't immune. When data is hacked, it exposes everything from personal details to financial information. But even if there's no breach, there's concerns about what companies do with your data. So some sell it to third parties, often without you realizing it. And this is why you might search for something online and then see ads for it on every site that you visit. And once your data is out there, it's really difficult to control who sees it and how it's being used. So another privacy issue with AI is surveillance, and AI-powered cameras and facial recognition systems are becoming more common. And for some people, that's really scary. So they're used in public places, stores, airports to track movement and verify um, individuals' identities and to just track people. So in some cases, this technology helps with security and even locating missing persons, which is good. That's a good use of it. But it also means that people can be tracked without their knowledge or consent. So in companies like China, facial recognition and AI surveillance is used widely, leading to debates about privacy versus safety. And this level of surveillance really makes people wonder if their every move is being watched. So it's not just public spaces where data collection happens. So our homes are filled with the smart devices, like I talked about in my last video, like Alexa, Google Home, and smart TVs, which are constantly gathering data. And while they make life more convenient, these devices also raise the privacy questions. Smart speakers, for example, are always listening for their wake word. So it's always listening, and there have been incidents where recordings were accidentally triggered and stored, and some smart devices even store data on how you use them. And it can give companies a deeper understanding of your personal life, but how personal is too personal. So who actually has access to your data? Many people assume it's just companies that they interact with, and the reality is that data often changes hands multiple times. It goes from like the companies, and then they sell and share the data with partners and advertisers and third-party organizations. That means that a single piece of data that you provide could end up with multiple different companies or advertisers that you never really agreed to share it with. For instance, when you take an online quiz, that data could be sent to advertisers and sold, and they know a lot about your personality, and the chain of data ownership can get complicated, leaving you with little control over who your data goes to. So, it's not all bad news. Many companies use AI to really enhance data security and protect privacy. For instance, AI can detect unusual patterns and data access and alert companies to potential breaches faster than traditional methods, which is really nice. So like AI-driven encryption tools also protect sensitive information from unauthorized access, which is better than any human can offer. And, so that's a good use. So additionally, some companies are moving forward toward data on autonomization, where AI processes data without needing to know specific personal details. And that's a good thing. But this means they can get insights without attaching them to you as an individual. While these solutions aren't perfect, I feel like they're steps in the right direction for protecting privacy. So, what can you do to protect your privacy? There are some steps that you can take that can protect you. So check your privacy settings on your social media apps, and you can usually control what data you do share. So limit what's visible and adjust your settings to keep things private. Be mindful of what you share online. That's a big thing. You don't want to be sharing out information and sharing it out to a point where you're just not thinking about it. And it happens all the time. We don't realize that we put pictures up of our kids and they're standing in front of our cars, and unfortunately that's our license plate. That's something scanning our picture across the internet, it can get picked up, and people can pick that up in general and do a lot of damage with it. So you might want to think twice about that. The other thing is think twice before you take the online quizzes, allowing apps to access your location if it's not necessary. Every piece of data that you share adds to your data profile online. And then consider using tools like VPN or privacy-focused browsers. these tools really do help your browsing data and add an extra layer of security. And in a world where AI and data collection are just part of everyday life, protecting your privacy can feel really like a challenge. So while AI offers convenience and personalization that is really great sometimes, and even security, it also does open doors to privacy risks, and we need to understand and manage those doors. But ultimately, it's about finding a balance between embracing the technology and safeguarding our personal information at the same time. So I feel like by staying informed and making conscious choices, you can enjoy the benefits of AI and also keep your privacy intact. So I hope that kind of hit on some points of some of the things that help and some of the things that don't help. But definitely be very mindful about what you're doing with your information out there whenever you're enjoying the beautiful things about AI. Watch what you're doing and you're posting. Sometimes we just don't think about it and we put a lot of information out there. But thank you for joining me on Odd Path Studios on this beautiful November 12th. And I hope to see you back.